Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Abington High School, the proud host of the 2022 Sean P. Cotter Invitational Tournament. This tournament is sponsored by Abington Bank in honor of the legacy of Sean Cotter. On behalf of Abington Bank, we wish to thank the teams, families, and fans from Rockland High, Sandwich High, Cape Cod Academy, and Abington High for taking part in this year's tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, for tonight's first game, our consolation game between the Rockland High School Bulldogs and the Sandwich Blue Knights, please direct your attention now to the visitors' bench area as we announce the starting lineup for the Sandwich Blue Knights. Starting at guard, number 3, senior Tim Souza. Starting at forward, number 15, junior Cameron O'Malley. Starting at center, number 25, senior Brady Campbell. Starting at guard, number 10, junior captain Logan Murphy. And starting at forward, number 2, senior captain Sean Lansing. The Blue Knights are led by their assistant coaches Michael Andrews and Henry O'Brien, and their head coach John Zemarangas. And now, please join me in welcoming the Rockland Bulldogs. Starting tonight for the Bulldogs, at guard, number 20, sophomore Darmani Santiago. Starting at guard, number 13, senior Jordan Langley. Starting at forward, number 14, senior Connor Levitt. Starting at forward, number 22, senior Mateo Vasquez. And starting at forward, number 10, senior Brett Armstrong. The Bulldogs are led by their assistant coaches Chuck McDonald, Nick LaCoury, Matt Anzalone, and Dan Bailey, and their head coach Fred Damon. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you now please rise or remove your hats as we pay tribute to our country and to those who defend our freedom by playing our national anthem. Tonight's referees are Lawrence Stead and Brian Sullivan.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, basketball fans of all ages, hello, and welcome back into the gymnasium here on the campus of Abington High School for night number 2 of the 2022 Sean P. Cotter Invitational Tournament. Once again, I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson, joined alongside Dr. James Madden. Doc, we saw these two teams on Monday night, the Sandwich Blue Knights, I caught myself that time, and the Rockland Bulldogs will first play for the consolation game, the third place game. What can we expect to see between these two teams tonight?
Well, on the Rockland side of things, we can probably expect a similar defensive scheme as to the Abington Green Wave we saw on Monday, try and limit Sandwich's leading scorer, Logan Murphy. They limited him to only 12 points. He's been one of the leading scorers in the Cape and Islands League this year. The Green Wave did a great boxing one where they had primarily Drew Donovan and Mike Van Luling on him. So Rockland will probably try and do a little bit of the same tonight and try to limit his scoring if they want to win. And Sandwich is just going to need to make more shots. They're a team that relies heavily on the three-point shot. Not many three-point shots fell Monday night, so Sandwich is going to need to make a lot more shots tonight if they want to have a chance of winning today.
The Blue Knights wearing their home white jerseys and shorts with baby blue trimmer on the navy blue numbers and lettering. The Bulldogs in their visiting navy blue jerseys and shorts with red trimmer on the white numbers and lettering. Abington defeating Sandwich on Monday. Cape Cod Academy took care of Rockland. Those two teams will fight for the Cotter Tournament Championship later this evening. 7 o'clock tip-off scheduled for that one. The starters, first for the Blue Knights, number 2, Sean Lansing, number 3, Tim Souza, number 10, Logan Murphy. He's the sharpshooter of the team. Number 15, Cameron O'Malley, and number 25, Brady Campbell. For the Bulldogs, number 10, Brett Armstrong, number 13, Jordan Langley, number 14, Connor Levitt, number 20, Darmani Santiago, and number 22, Mateo Vasquez. James Darmani Santiago had one of his career nights on Monday night. He kept the Bulldogs in it right up until the very end.
He certainly did. He was tremendous all night. He's been tremendous all season long for them. Only a sophomore, and they're going to need a similar performance from him tonight as they're up to a 3-2 lead after a big shot by Connor Levitt. We've seen him knock down a bunch of shots this season, especially earlier in February when they were here in Abington. I think he had 3 threes. So they're going to need similar performances tonight if they want to have any successes. They're on the outside of the bubble looking in, 6-13, ranked 36th in the Division III rankings, with the new rankings coming out tomorrow morning. So beating a team like Sandwich, who's ranked higher than them, will certainly help.
Santiago going in for the steal, might have overcommitted on Tim Souza. Corner 3 for Campbell, no good. Santiago with the rebound. To the corner for the 3-point attempt by Levitt. It doesn't go, and an offensive foul called on Jordan Langley. First foul committed of this game, James. We saw the Bulldogs get into a hefty amount of foul trouble on Monday evening.
Exactly, and that just comes virtue of their physical defense. They're a team that likes to play hard-nosed basketball. They're a gritty team, and that's what Coach Fred Damon has really brought with them in his reign as the Rockland head coach for the past couple of seasons. And a lot of those fouls, he expects those fouls, and he's definitely isn't opposed to his team playing physical, and that's really what comes out of being such a physical and aggressive team as they are.
The full court press working for the Bulldogs, creating 2 turnovers. Langley kicks over to Mateo Vasquez, who turns it over. Count it, and 1 for Tim Souza. The hit will be called on Levitt. Jordan Langley, commits his second personal foul. And we'll get the first look of the night at the junior captain, Lucas Leander, in for Jordan Langley.
That second foul for Langley is a big blow to Rock, and he's been one of their better players all season. We saw him. He had a great performance Monday night as well as earlier in the season when they came to Abington. So with him on the bench for the majority of the first half, it's going to be tough for them. He's one of their best scorers. So they bring in Lucas Leander, who's also been one of their better players, and the junior captain.
Murphy going down low, driving baseline, doesn't go. Offensive board for Cameron O'Malley. His putback attempt finds the net 6-5, Sandwich on top. Santiago kicks to Levitt for the 3. Off the mark, gets his own rebound, and knocked out of play by Lansing. Leander at the top of the key. Levitt, now Santiago's corner 3 is off the mark, and an offensive foul called on Mateo Vasquez. And already, James, you can see 2.5 minutes in, already 3 fouls called on the Bulldogs.
And 2 of those fouls are fouls that I would say aren't really necessary. They've been 2 box-out fouls, kind of pushing from behind. We saw one on Jordan Langley and just there on Mateo Vasquez. So those are definitely the fouls Coach Damon doesn't want to have, especially when the Sandwich player has done a good job sealing himself off of the basket. Just let him take the rebound, get back on the defensive end of the floor.
Gavin Wardwell replaces Vasquez in the Bulldogs lineup. We saw him have a successful string of a couple of possessions on Monday in which he hit a couple of big 3-pointers.
We did, and we didn't see much of him Monday night. He was in foul trouble for the majority of the game. Him and as well as junior captain Michael Moriarty, they battled foul trouble. I believe Moriarty fouled out, and Wardwell finished the game with 4 fouls. So hopefully he can, for the Bulldogs, he can stay out of foul trouble tonight. We'll see more of him tonight.
Lansing crisscross, hands it off to O'Malley. Now far side, Souza's 3 is off the mark. Offensive board. Lansing fouled, and he'll be at the line for 2. Santiago committing his first foul, the 4th called on the Bulldogs early in this one, and Aiden Spur is going to come in for the Blue Knights. He will replace Tim Souza. Lansing 2 for 2, 8-5 the score. Sandwich on top, 4:35 to go in the first quarter. Ramsey Youssef gets ready to come in for the Bulldogs. Armstrong down low, lost the handles, out of play. The last touch was by Brady Campbell. Youssef in for Armstrong. Wardwell will put the ball back in play. Fires it into Levitt, then gets it back. Back to Levitt at the top of the key. Youssef at the free throw line. Surrounded by Knights. Now Leander bounces over to Santiago. Santiago is looking for the pick. Instead crisscrosses his way and tried to bounce pass it down low to Leander, out of play. But again, bouncing off of one of the Knights.
Rockland's going to need a quick hitter here. Only 1 second left on the shot clock.
Catch and shoot. Santiago will take it. And hits it from 4 feet beyond the arc, off the glass and in to tie it up.
I wonder if he called backboard on that one.
Yeah, there was not much time. It was literally catch and shoot. He couldn't even set his feet first. And another foul. Youssef is going to get called for this one. Leander called for the hold. 5 fouls in the first half of the first quarter, James.
And against a good free throw shooting team as well as a good outside shooting team, it's going to only really give them more opportunities to score by sending them to the free throw line. 2 more fouls will put them at the 1-and-1 bonus. So if you're Rockland, you have to continue playing tough defense, but just try and play a bit of a cleaner brand of defense. Stop fouling as much. And like we said, we saw it on Monday. They were in double bonus early in both halves. So Rockland definitely has been in a lot of foul trouble the past couple games, and that was one of the main reasons why they actually lost to Cape Cod Academy, was Cape Cod Academy's ability to knock down free throws late in the game.
Santiago pump fakes to the corner for Leander. His floater doesn't go. Levitt the rebound. Finds Leander again. He had the open 3, didn't take it. Santiago now steps in, kicks back to Leander. He takes the long 2. That one rims out. And out of play off of Santiago down low. A sandwich ball. Lansing on the stutter step. Works his way to the corner now. Down low, a block on O'Malley's short jumper. Jake Belcher comes in, the senior number 31 for the Bulldogs. 8-8, 2:54 remaining in the first quarter. 3 from the far side is good for Gavin Wardwell.
He's been one of the better shooters all season long for Rockland, so him knocking down shots this early in the game is only going to open up not only his teammates but just more opportunities. Because once he catches a hot hand, he doesn't seem to miss very often. We saw it. He hit a couple threes in a span of 45 seconds or so on Monday, so if he can heat up for Rockland, that's going to be huge.
Leander called for the block. Bulldogs think that was a controversial call. That puts Lansing at the line, the 6th foul called against the Bulldogs here in the first quarter. Vasquez comes back in for Leander, who's already got 2. Lansing 2 for 2 once again to draw us back within 1. Santiago intercepted by Lansing. He finds Murphy in stride, and Murphy called for the charge.
That was a great job by Mateo Vasquez to not only get down the floor and get in position to draw the foul, but
plant his feet
and be in a defensive position. A lot of times people think just because you're stopped means that it is a charging foul, but you have to just be in a defensive position as well and give the offensive player room to make a move, and he gave Logan Murphy room to make the move and stop the offensive drive and send the ball the other way.
Loud block by Lansing out of play. Wardwell works baseline. Now Youssef to Belcher. Back to Wardwell. He takes the 3. That's too long. Offensive board for Vasquez. Now it's Souza off the rim, and Belcher is going to get called for the Bulldogs' 7th foul in the quarter, James.
So Sandwich is going to be in the bonus already, but I will have to take the side of Rockland coach Fred Damon as well as Jake Belcher, because I didn't really see much there.
Yeah, there was not a lot of contact.
It looks like he skimmed the ball maybe and just kind of went past the number 3, that's Tim Souza. But if I was a referee, I would just go for no call, but the officials think otherwise, and they have ultimate authority, so they called foul on that one.
1 for 2. It's a tie game, 11-11. 2 minutes remain in the first quarter. Darmani Santiago gives to Vasquez, then gets it back. Wardwell, 3. Good.
See, Hunter Wardwell's 2 for 2 from 3 so far. So, like I said, him heating up is just going to be Gavin Wardwell, excuse me. Hunter Wardwell is his brother that played for Rockland last year. But Gavin Wardwell's 2 for 2 from 3 so far. So that's kind of a scary sight if you're Sandwich for him to heat up this early. Like I said, we didn't see much of him Monday night, so Rockland really missed him on the offensive end of the floor. But hopefully for Rockland, like I said, he stays out of foul trouble and is able to keep knocking down shots.
Sean Lansing on the other side of the floor hitting a contested 3. Wardwell finds it, takes the open shot off the rim. Lansing trails it out of play. It'll be a Blue Knights ball. First look of the night at Michael Moriarty. James, as previously mentioned, he was called for a lot of fouls early the last game. He fouled out in the third quarter, I believe.
He was, and he's been one of their key pieces, especially down low. He has a big frame. He's one of the strongest players on the team. And without having him, it just made it easier for Cape Cod Academy to score in the paint. So him staying out of foul trouble tonight will be big in their interior defense. So hopefully, like I said, same as Gavin Wardwell, he's able to stay out of foul trouble and stay on the court.
Santiago comes up with a steal, lost the handle, gets it back before running over the baseline. Belcher now on the near wing, intercepted by Souza, who is able to keep it in play. Kicks back to Murphy, and Murphy called for his 2nd charge of the night.
So that's the second foul. Like you said, 2nd charge. That's also 2nd personal foul on Logan Murphy. Something to monitor for Coach Zimmerangis as we go forward. One of their better players who's been fairly quiet here to start this one, but one of their better players already in foul trouble with 2 personal fouls.
35 seconds remain in the first quarter. 14-14 is the score. The Bulldogs and the Blue Knights. Moriarty takes the jumper. No good. Offensive board before it was slapped out. That was Adam Schwager doing the defensive work for Sandwich. Shot clock off. 20 seconds remain in the quarter. Sandwich will have the luxury of being in a bonus for the entirety of the second quarter. Souza will inbound. He's got Schwager waiting in the corner. Far corner, Murphy's 3 blocked. Santiago coming up with the block there for Rockland. Langley's going to come back in with 7 seconds to go. He will replace Youssef. 5 seconds. Moriarty down low finds Wardwell for the jumper. It doesn't go. Langley the putback attempt. The third chance finds the net, but not before the buzzer sounds. The first quarter has come to an end. The same way it started, James. We're tied.
Exactly. For the most part, actually, Rockland has been the better team on the offensive end of the floor. The only thing really hurting them is their fouls. They've sent Sandwich to the line quite a few times, and Sandwich has been knocking down their free throws, and we saw it there. That was a tremendous play drawn up by Coach Damon. The only thing wrong with that play is they didn't get the finish down low, but it was great ball movement to get up the court in, 7 seconds or so. So that's been really the name of the game so far today for Rockland. They've really gotten the looks they've wanted. We've seen Gavin Wardwell knock down a couple threes. We've seen, who else? Oh, Lucas Leander. I believe he had a layup as well. So offensively, nothing really to worry about. Defensively, the only thing they need to really work on is their fouling. They've obviously committed 17 fouls in the first quarter, and for the remainder of the half, Sandwich will be going to the line, and really, it's going to really mean that they're going to have to lay off a little bit defensively, but not as much as they really should, because Coach Damon loves for his team to play defense. They love to play hard. They love to play aggressive, so they're going to really keep going at Sandwich and making it difficult for them.
14-14 at the end of one. These two teams doing battle for third place in the 2022 Sean P. Cotter Invitational Tournament here at Abington High School, sponsored by Abington Bank. Once again, I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson. He's Dr. James Madden. Murphy, the three, rims out off the top of the backboard. That has been something surprisingly, James, that we have not seen called yet this tournament. It's happened a number of times. That is technically out of play.
Yes, we saw Monday. We saw three. I believe it was the first game Monday. It bounced up off the rim, went up off the wire, and there was no call. We saw it was the same thing happen there, so the refs just missed that one. But we move.
Lansing at the top of the key. Gives over to Souza, then gets it back. Gives it back. Schwager back to Souza, back to Schwager. Now Lansing in the corner. Works his way baseline, takes the contested jumper, no good. Rebound still being fought over. Murphy takes the open three. Off the back of the rim, no good. And Wardwell comes up with the rebound. Press on for the Blue Knights. The Bulldogs are able to break it. Now they've got 3-on-1. Santiago reverse layup doesn't go. Campbell with the rebound. Now Lansing lays it up and in through contact with Wardwell.
I like the no call there. There wasn't really much contact. It kind of seemed as if Wardwell kind of leaned into Lansing. So I like the no call. Just let Lansing go up with the layup and keep play moving.
Jordan Langley hitting a three to give the Bulldogs a 1-point lead. Timeout on the floor called by Rockland. They lead 17-16 with 6:40 remaining in the second quarter. Game 2 features the Abington Green Wave and the Cape Cod Academy Seahawks. And slated for 7 o'clock. We will preview that one at the end of the third quarter. Cape Cod Academy has just arrived. Green Wave are getting loose on the bleachers, catching a little bit of this one before they go stretch out. Jeremiah Ismius for the Green Wave was feeling some type of fire on Monday night. Double effort. 2 slams. Posted both of them on Twitter. Got some good reaction.
16 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 blocks, I believe, was his final stat line. I think all 4 blocks came in the same sequence.
Oh, yeah, that was quite the sequence.
As well as Tommy Finari, he had 8 threes as well. So
8 for 9 beyond the arc. Just 1 point inside of the perimeter, and it came on a free throw. Schwager lost it, and Armstrong muscles it away. Moriarty's going to come back in. Armstrong at the top of the key. Gives back to Santiago. 15 to shoot for the Bulldogs. Langley called for the travel. Moriarty in for Armstrong once again. Souza gives to Schwager in for Lansing. Quick passing down low. A lot of contact. No call. The layup is good for Brady Carroll. Santiago hard across for Wardwell. Now Langley back to Santiago on the near wing. He's trying to find Wardwell on the far. Now Santiago takes the long two. No good. Moriarty the offensive board. Contested shot off the glass and in.
That's something that's been huge for the Bulldogs all season is having Michael Moriarty down low. He's one of the bigger kids on the team. He's a junior captain, so they'll have him next year as well. And we saw it there. He used his strength and his size to just kind of levitate over the defender and just put it off the backboard and in.
Langley hands it off to Wardwell, and he is fouled. The call will be on Tim Souza.
And for a lot of people, it looked like could have been a clean strip from number 5, Adam Schwager, but Tim Souza did get him with the body as he went up for the shot.
Wardwell's first does not go. Connor Finn in for Souza. Wardwell's second attempt is good. Leander will come in for Gavin Wardwell. Finn finds Schwager, who works baseline, bounces over to Murphy. Now it's Finn again, down low, off the glass and in for Brady Carroll.
That's back-to-back possessions we've seen for Sandwich is 2 strong finishes by Brady Carroll, both through contact and both through traffic. So something that's going to be huge tonight if he can continue to do that on the offensive end of the floor.
Leander at the top gives over to Santiago. Levitt gives it back to Darmani Santiago. Over to Langley. He takes the 3 off the back of the rim. Uncontested board for Finn. Lansing with Leander in his face. Schwager down low to Carroll. Gets it back. Over to Murphy. Now Finn with 13 to shoot for the Blue Knights. Schwager's 3 is good.
We see Rockland match it up on his zone defense, and that's something that Sandwich is not opposed to, as they love to shoot the outside shot, and we saw it there from Adam Schwager. And a very easy way to beat the zone is just keep passing through it and have great ball movement. We saw it to find Adam Schwager at the top of the key for an open shot.
Lansing at the top. He's got Murphy on the far wing. Kicks over to Murphy. 3:40 remaining in the second quarter. Down low, Carroll. His shot doesn't go. Langley up to get the rebound. Lansing called for the loose elbow. Timeout on the floor as Tremaine Perryman's going to come in for his first minutes of the game. James, another guy for Rockland that can really hit a hot streak and get a lot of points on the board quickly.
Certainly, and it's interesting. This is the first time we're going to see him. He's been one of their leading scorers all season. We didn't see him in the first quarter as well as the majority of the second quarter, but hopefully for Rockland he can catch some fire as he goes out there. He's a great shooter. He's able to show off his mid-range game as well as get to the hoop. So he scores consistently at all 3 levels. So that's going to be something that's big for Rockland if he can kind of catch fire, as well as guys like Gavin Wardwell, Connor Levitt, who are terrific outside shooters, as well as Jordan Langley. So they're going to need to start knocking down some shots as they want to get back into this one. Not that they're down, they're only down 3 points, but offensively they've kind of started to struggle here in the second quarter, excuse me.
(23-20), the Blue Knights on top. I do apologize if I've called them the Blue Devils. It's tournament week, so all eyes are on Duke. course, our South Shore League rivals, the Randolph Blue Devils, ranked number 1 in Division 4.
What a squad they got.
They're the only team that can say they went 2-0 against the Green Wave this season.
Winning both of those pretty handily. The first time was 26 points here. Second time they beat us, I believe, by 19, 73-54. Definitely a team that is very capable of winning the state title.
The whole athletic department over there is having a good year. They won the, I'm not sure what division it was, but
I believe Division 8 for football.
Division 8 Super Bowl.
Over Hull, South Shore League battle.
Of course, Rockland defeating the Green Wave in the Division 6 Super Bowl. South Shore League, South Shore teams up and down the ballot in the football championship games. I think Cohasset was in one of them.
They won Division 7 over, not Wachusett. Wachusett's Division 1. They beat a Western Mass team. I can't remember the name of it, but we saw Scituate. They're not on the South Shore League, but we saw Scituate and Duxbury. They played each other in a matchup. I believe they're in the Patriot League.
Sailors and the Dragons. Both of those teams expected to make deep runs in the hockey tournaments as well in their respective divisions. And now a double dribble called on Rockland. Coach Damon doesn't like it.
I think Coach Damon's making an argument it might have been tipped before Tremaine Perriman put it back on the ground, which it's a viable argument. It looked like it could have been either way, but given the angle from the officials, they deemed it a double dribble.
2:10 remaining in the second quarter. The Bulldogs have a 1-point lead. Murphy's 3. No good offensive board for Cameron O'Malley, but he had it poked out, and the Bulldogs come away with it. Youssef to the corner for Langley's 3. No good. Lansing bringing down the contested rebound. Goes behind the back to get around Leander. Leander trying to rip it out. Dual possession is called. It will remain a Blue Knight ball.
Something Rockland has done a terrific job here in the second quarter has been not fouling. They had 7 fouls in the first quarter, but they're still at 7 fouls, as well as they've continued to play tough defense. It's just been cleaner and with less physicality. As we see them foul right here, I jinxed them, but they haven't fouled and they haven't sent Sandwich to the line this quarter is part of the reason why they're up 1 point here as we go forward.
Rizzi Youssef called for the hit in an emphatic signal by the official when he signaled that it was a hit over to the scorer's table. He hit his wrist rather hard. Heard the slap through the headset. O'Malley's free throw is good. Campbell comes back in replacing Carroll. Langley finds some space down low, and he is fouled by Cameron O'Malley. Langley's first is good to give the Bulldogs back the 1-point lead. Second one back rims out. Perryman rushing to the corner for the rebound. His jumper off the back of the rim. Youssef tipping the rebound to Langley, who lost it, then got it back. Santiago's 3. No good. Another offensive board for the Bulldogs. A 5th chance now on this possession, and heads up as Lansing, outstretching, kicks it off of the head of one of the assistant coaches on the Blue Knights bench. Perryman, open 3. A 7th chance on this possession for the Bulldogs. Wardwell to the corner for Langley. Step aside 3. That one's no good. And finally, the Blue Knights able to take possession. Lansing off the glass, no good. Langley grabs the rebound. 7 chances on one possession, James, and no points.
That's definitely something Rockland doesn't want to see
Murphy
at
in
all.
alone. He throws it down. As 2 players collided, Lansing got tied up with Youssef.
And going back to what you said, 7 chances in one possession, that's something Rockland doesn't want to have, especially in a game where they were up 1 point at the time. And I just wanted to note on Jordan Langley's three-point attempt, from my angle, it looked like it went in, but obviously it didn't go in. And they, like you said, 7 chances on that possession, something they don't want to have any empty possessions. Obviously those are bound to happen, but having that many offensive rebounds and that many chances is something you really want to capitalize off of.
Youssef held down low, no call. Santiago rushes in for the rebound, then tosses it into the gut of Finn. Lansing strong to the bucket, no good. Loose ball. The rims have shrunk themselves in the last couple of minutes. Murphy, step back 3, off the mark. Youssef, the board for the Bulldogs. 3 seconds to go. Santiago takes the pull-up 3. That comes up short. The buzzer sounds. A wild ending to the first half, James. Both teams had second, third, fourth, in some cases 7 opportunities on possessions, but nobody was able to score in the last minute.
Exactly. It was just kind of a lot of up and down of a lot of missed shots, but the only points we saw in those last 2 minutes was a Logan Murphy slam on a fast break. But Sandwich takes the lead into the half, 26-25. Rockland's played a great half of basketball, kind of slow offensively in the at the beginning of the second quarter. They kind of picked it up a little bit, but without their foul trouble early on in the first quarter, Rockland could very well be winning this game. And there was a lot of contact. I remember one layup from Sean Lansing on the Sandwich end of the floor. It was interesting. They called everything on Rockland in the first quarter and then kind of nothing in the second quarter. So nonetheless, Sandwich takes the 1-point lead into the half, 26-25.
That is the score at the end of the second quarter. We're going to step aside, take a quick break, and bring you third quarter of the 2022 Sean P. Cotter Invitational Consolation game right after this. Hello and welcome back into the gymnasium here on the campus of Abington High School for second half action in the consolation game of the 2022 Sean P. Cotter Invitational Tournament, sponsored by Abington Bank. This game featuring the Sandwich Blue Knights and the Rockland Bulldogs. The Blue Knights have the lead coming into the third quarter, 26-25. A couple of different Bulldogs, James, are in foul trouble, and that is where we stand. A lot of missed opportunities at the end of the first half. Santiago converts the first Bulldog possession of the third quarter.
Certainly, and as we see on the defensive end of the floor for Sandwich, they open up the half in a zone defense, kind of trying to force Rockland to shoot the outside shot, which hasn't been their most successful point of scoring this season. But Rockland is able to find a second chance in the paint from Darmani Santiago as he finds more points in the paint. And that's a very good way to beat the zone if you're not a good outside shooting team, is just score in transition, not give them the opportunity to get into the zone, as we just saw with Darmani Santiago.
I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson. He's Dr. James Madden. Sean Lansing gives back to Tim Souza for the top of the key 3. Nothing but net. Ties it back up at 29. Levitt gets it back, takes the 3. No good. The rebound to Logan Murphy. Corner 3 for Souza. In and out. Jordan Langley, the rebound for the Bulldogs. The Blue Knights wearing their home white jerseys and shorts. Light blue trim around the navy blue numbers and lettering. The Bulldogs in their visiting navy jerseys with red trim around the white numbers and lettering.
That's the third foul on their senior captain, number 2, Sean Lansing. Coach Zimmerangis likes to keep him out there, which is probably the best idea. He trusts his experienced senior to be smart out there and not pick up the 4th foul. Lansing's been one of the best players all season, and tonight he's been the leading scorer tonight, and he's been one of the reasons why this game is a tie game.
What to go out of play there as Mateo Vasquez was sprinting towards the sideline to try to keep it in play. Lansing with it now. Hook passes over to Souza, now Murphy. Cameron O'Malley finds Lansing. Back to Souza, 15 to shoot for the Knights. O'Malley off the glass and in. Santiago trying to intercept the pass. Lansing finds it down low. Step back two doesn't go. Armstrong the rebound for Rockland. Now it's Santiago to the corner for Langley. Gets it back. Gives it back to Langley for the three. No good. Murphy with the rebound for the Blue Knights. Gavin Wardwell is going to come back in for Rockland. Souza over to Lansing. Lansing thought about the deep three. Murphy will take it. No good, but he is fouled by Vasquez. He'll be at the line for 3 free throws.
Out of all fouls, that is probably the last foul Coach Damon would want, especially on a three-point shooter, because it not only gives him an opportunity to complete a 4-point play, but it sends him to the line for 3 shots. Logan Murphy, a terrific shooter, terrific free throw shooter. So, opportunity to make this a 5-point game.
It's his first of 3. Two for 2. Armstrong and O'Malley both unaware that there were 3 free throws. Wardwell and Youssef back in. Vasquez and Langley come out for Rockland. Murphy goes 2 for 3. 33 to 29 is the score. 5 minutes remaining. Santiago's floater off the glass and in.
This has been a great start to the third quarter for Jarmani Santiago. He has 6 points, all coming in the paint, so using his quicknesses and his athleticism to get downhill and get to the basket.
To the corner for Lansing. He drives in, and a block called on Armstrong. Lansing at the line for 2. Lansing hitting his first attempt. Second one doesn't go. The rebound to Connor Levitt. Santiago gives to Levitt for the 3. No good. Youssef the offensive rebound. Levitt goes sliding down to get it to Santiago. Now Levitt down low off the glass and in. Another wonky possession.
Those are the types of things that Rockland's going to need to capitalize off of his second and third chance points, because as we saw at the end of the first half, they had many opportunities and many open looks but were unable to convert. And if they want to win tonight, capitalizing off second and third chances is something that's going to be huge for them.
Now the Bulldogs need to win tonight to have even a breath of hope for the postseason. They're currently sitting at 36.
Exactly, yep.
Top 32 make it. Sandwiches in the mix as well.
They've also reached the 10-win threshold. They're 10-9, so no matter what they're ranked, they're guaranteed one postseason basketball game. So their season is not it's not possible for their season to end today. They will be playing next week, but Rockland on the other hand is on the outside looking in.
Meanwhile, our late game features 2 playoff contenders as well, Cape Cod Academy and the Abington Green Wave.
Yep, Cape Cod Academy ranked 7th in Division 4. One of the top teams to look for. They've won 2 of their last 3. They fell to O'Brien about a week ago, 71-69. O'Brien's a tough team out of the Inter-City League. But Cape Cod Academy is one of the top teams in Division 4 as well. So they're definitely a team. They like to play on the offensive end of the floor. They're one of the best offensive teams, not only in Division IV but in the state. So they're definitely a team that can give a Randolph team that we've seen a couple of times now a run for their money in Division IV.
Kevin Wardwell gets the inbound pass. The Blue Knights have the press on. Lansing able to steal it away and convert the layup. This one tipped out by Aiden Spur. Different look for the Blue Knights, James. 4 minutes remaining in the third. They come out in a full court press.
And that's really just to try and make it difficult. We've already seen them force one turnover. We didn't see a full court press at all Monday night and haven't seen one up until now tonight. So just kind of a new look to kind of throw off Rockland as they try and get back from this three-point deficit.
Wardwell finds contact in the lane, and he will be at the line for two. Makes his first. Two for two goes Gavin Wardwell. Murphy gives back to Spur. Loose ball. Dual possession is called. As it was Santiago wrestling for it. Souza finds Spur. His pass blocked by Levitt. And then stolen away by Santiago. Santiago's layup is good. It comes up a little bit lame, however.
Hopefully it's nothing. Hopefully it just kind of landed wrong, but it looks like he kind of landed wrong on his left leg. We saw him limping last game, obviously. He's still very explosive, but kind of favoring his left leg. He's had a tremendous third quarter. He has 8 points here in the third quarter, all of them coming in the paint. So, like I said, using his quickness and his athleticism to get downhill and get to the bucket.
Dual possession forced by Ramsey. Youssef gives the Bulldogs back the ball. Now Santiago able to break the press. He goes up, lays it up and in, and he's hobbling again.
Yeah, definitely something you don't want to see. It looks like it wasn't a contact injury, but hopefully Santiago is going to be, hopefully he's okay, and it's hopefully just something not too serious.
Reaching down for the knee at the moment. Murphy, meanwhile, converts the shot and one. Leander's going to come in for Levitt. Murphy converts the three-point play to tie it back up. This time at 39. Wardwell through contact with Lansing, able to get it to Youssef, who spins it down to Santiago. Leander takes the floater. No good, but he was fouled. Souza will be called for the hit to the head.
I'm not sure what Sean Lansing's argument is, but it seemed pretty clear to me that he did catch Leander on the head. And that's a big foul for Sandwich. Sean Lansing, who's been their most efficient player all night, is going to have to go to the bench with 4 fouls.
He will be replaced by Adam Schwager. Leander hits his first attempt to give Rockland back the lead. One for two, but a lane violation called on the Blue Knights. Will attempt it again.
Lane violations are one thing that just shouldn't happen, because as we see, Lucas Leander missed the free throw. Now he gives them an opportunity to make the free throw, and he does, giving them kind of an extra point that was unnecessary.
Coach Fred Damon calls a timeout. 2:47 remaining in the third quarter. 41-39. Close game here in the consolation game of the 2022 Cotter Invitational Tournament here at Abington High School. Bulldogs have the 2-point lead over the Sandwich Blue Knights. Meanwhile, 7 p.m., somewhere around 7 p.m., Cape Cod Academy and the Abington Green Wave will do battle for the title. We will preview that game for you in 2 minutes and 47 seconds at the end of the third quarter.
Should be a fun one. Two very talented teams.
I don't know what was said at the end of the first quarter for the Bulldogs, but they have not had a lot of fouls called since that first quarter ended.
Exactly. They had 17 fouls in the first quarter and have had 6 combined since then, 3 here in the third quarter and then 3 in the second quarter. They've done a great job at playing clean defense but continuing to put the pressure on Sandwich and play hard and tough defense.
Press on for the Bulldogs. That leaves Schwager open for the 3. It didn't go. The offensive rebound by Connor Finn. He puts it off the glass and in. Wardwell back to Santiago, who remains out there despite favoring his left leg. Gives to Wardwell for the corner 3. That one rims out. And Souza able to grab the board right in front of the Bulldog bench. .15 for the Blue Knights to shoot. Murphy, strong to the rack, and he puts it up and in.
That's the play Coach Zimmerangus really wants. Is he saw a mismatch, Dermani Santiago against a bigger offensive player, Logan Murphy, and Logan Murphy uses his size to levitate over Santiago and get to the hoop and finish the layup.
Schwager working the give and go with Tim Souza, got fouled on his way up. Leander's third personal foul. Levitt's going to come back in. And Schwager converts the first. Levitt in for Armstrong. One for 2. Ramsey Youssef grabbing the board. Up to Leander. Corner 3 for Levitt. Bang! .44-44, James. Haymaker for haymaker between these two teams.
Exactly, and we saw a big 3 from Connor Levitt. We've seen that all season from him. I believe his third 3 tonight. I believe he had 2 in the first quarter. So they're going to keep looking for him in the corner. The corner seems to be his hot spot. So they're going to keep looking for him to try and find him open looks as well as for him to get to the basket.
.53 seconds remain in the third quarter. Tied up, 44-44. Murphy pump fake, gives to Souza. Schwager trying to force it to O'Malley down low. It is knocked out by Leander. Brady Campbell comes back in. He will replace Cameron O'Malley. Campbell's shot no good, and then the long pass. Leander might have got some contact where you don't want to get contact. He's a little bit ginger. Santiago with shot clock off, 15 seconds to go. Leander to the corner for Gavin Wardwell. Back to Leander. 10 now. Wardwell's corner 3 is good. Souza lost it out of play. The Bulldogs will have an opportunity for a catch and shoot. Langley is going to come in. It'll be Langley, Santiago, or Wardwell taking the last shot. Langley gets it knocked out by Campbell, and they'll do it again with .8 remaining on the clock.
This lineup is just kind of their three-point shooting lineup. Leander, not as good of a three-point shooter as Langley, but they didn't get a shot off. But that was just to give them a better opportunity to hit a quick hitter. As we saw, Gavin Wardwell, he hit another big 3. He hit a few Monday night. I believe he has He has 3 or 4 tonight, so he's one of the main reasons that Rockland leads by 3 in a game that's kind of been back and forth since the jump. So nonetheless, a very equal game so far as we go to the fourth quarter.
All right, so our championship game tonight, the Cape Cod Academy Seahawks, the Abington Green Wave. The Seahawks getting back 2 very big, important pieces to their lineup tonight, James.
You said it. They were without 3 starters, 2 captains, senior captain and leading scorer Jaden Greenleaf, as well as sophomore captain Kelvin Danforth. Both of them back in the lineup tonight. Something that's huge for Cape Cod Academy. At times, Monday night, they struggled on the offensive end of the floor, but with the additions of those 2, their scoring problems seem to be solved. Jaden Greenleaf averaging near 30 points per game in the Cape and Islands League this season.
And he's got how many points in his high school career?
Upwards towards 2,500. I believe he's 50 or so shy of the school record, which was set by, can't remember her name, but a women's basketball player. She currently plays at Northeastern. So she's up near 2,500, I believe 50 or so points shy of that record. But a very talented scorer, Jaden Greenleaf, as the Cape Cod Academy Seahawks have him back in the lineup tonight.
Langley comes up with a couple blocks. And now it is Lucas Leander over to Youssef. Corner 3 for Langley. Rims out. Meanwhile, for the Green Wave, you've got Tommy Fanar, who went 8 for 9 beyond the arc, 25 points overall in game 1. Jeremiah Ismius had a double-double effort. He's going to be close to averaging a double-double on the season. Campbell goes down, and a loud block as Lansing's going to come in with 4 personal fouls. He will replace Schwager. Finn across to Lansing. Over to Souza, back to Finn. Souza lost it off the leg of Leander and then got tripped up. Santiago works his way to the corner, gives to Leander on the wing. Santiago, corner 3, is good.
What a second half Dermani Santiago's had. He's up to 13 points here in the second half. We saw that big 3 give Rockland a 6-point lead. He had 10 points in the third quarter, so the main reason that they're up to the 6-point lead and in position to maybe run away with this one, as Sandwich looks to kind of come back from this little run that Rockland's gone on.
Leander commits his 4th personal foul. Levitt's not going to get to the table in time, so Leander stuck out there with 4 fouls. Campbell hits the contested layup to cut the lead back to 4. Leander bouncing over to Wardwell. Langley commits the travel. Tremaine Perryman's going to come back in for the Bulldogs as well. Finn takes the tray. Off the back of the metal, no good. Levitt with the rebound for Rockland. Santiago over to Langley, back to Santiago. Forces it over to Wardwell. Wardwell drives towards the hoop, off the glass and in.
We've seen a tremendous performance from Wardwell tonight. He's been able to score on the outside. He's hit a bunch of threes, as well as we saw him get to the basket there. Finish the contested layup, get the Rockland lead back up to 6.
Youssef called for the foul. That puts Sandwich in a 1-and-1 bonus for the rest of the way. Perryman in for Langley. Campbell misses the free throw. Levitt with another rebound.
And at this point in the game, that's something Sandwich can't afford, is miss free throws. Rockland obviously has put Sandwich in the bonus, so given free throws gives you the opportunity to get back. They had an opportunity to cut it down to a 4-point lead, but nonetheless, he misses the first half of the 1-1. Lead stays at 6 with 5 to go.
Another travel called here on the Bulldogs. Souza back to Finn, now Murphy on the far wing. Lost the handles, and it rolls out of play off of Murphy's knee. Perryman back to Santiago, back to Perryman. To the corner for Wardwell's three. It's good. Wardwell making a strong push for the player of the game.
Between him and Damani Santiago, their second halves have been tremendous. Wardwell knocked down a couple threes in the first half as well. So those two really the main factors in this 9-point lead for Rockland.
Campbell committing the foul on Youssef's rebound attempt. Timeout on the floor called by Sandwich. The Bulldogs lead it by 9, 55-46. James. The Bulldogs, as we've mentioned on the outside looking in, they sit at number 36 overall. They won't get any points by virtue of facing a Division IV opponent, but if they win by the margin of 10, might be enough to get them in, sneak them into one of those last two spots.
Exactly, and it's really going to come down to what the teams ahead of them do. I'm not really too sure who's ranked between 33 and 35 and what their results have been this week. But losing to a Division IV team certainly won't help. But if they're able to string together a couple more points, a couple more successful possessions, then a double-digit win against a team ranked 19th in Division III like Sandwich is definitely going to help their case to help push them into the playoffs, as well as give them a game to play next week. As they currently sit at 6-13, so with a win today, they would finish this regular season at 7-13. Sandwich at 10-9, so like I said, they're insured to play like a postseason basketball game next week.
They lead it by 9. Perriman will inbound it. He gives to Gavin Wardwell. It is Perryman, Wardwell, Santiago, Youssef, and Connor Levitt for the Bulldogs. Murphy, Souza, Lansing, Finn, and Brady Carroll for the Blue Knights. Santiago comes up with a steal. Works his way back out and will slow things down. Timeout called by Rockland. So you get a couple of South Shore teams at the very bottom of the top 32. East Bridgewater, the Vikings, are number 32. The Southeastern Regional Hawks are 31. We saw them a week and a half ago here for senior night. You've got Greater New Bedford Regional Vogue at 30, Dedham at 29, Pittsfield at 28. Meanwhile, on the outside looking in, Hudson at 33, East Boston at 34, Chelsea at 35. And then we come to the Bulldogs.
Just adding off what you said, 32 East Bridgewater. They were 8-10 entering the week. Final two games were against a really tough Norwell team on Monday, as well as last night against Millis. They were actually able to pull off both wins over a Norwell team that was ranked 12th, so given the new rankings, I'd imagine they'd head down. That's definitely an upset win. So they finished with 10 wins, meaning no matter what the rankings look like tomorrow, they'll be in the playoffs. But I'd imagine given 2 wins, one over a very talented and very tough Norwell team, they'd move up significantly in the rankings.
Meanwhile, the is also good news for Green Wave fans because Norwell in the last set of rankings was ranked just above the Green Wave at number 12. There is less than 1/10 of a point separating those two in the power rankings.
This might be my bias showing off a little bit, but just interesting. The Green Wave did beat Norwell twice this season. The Green Wave also did have a better record than Norwell, so not too sure how the rankings are calculated, but
isn't that funny? It works that way in college, too. It's incredible. UMass Dartmouth beat number 15 Wesleyan. Wesleyan is ranked 10 spots above the Corsairs.
no matter what, people are always going to be disappointed in the rankings, so.
Rainbow 3 from Sousa doesn't go. Langley back in for Perryman. Meanwhile, the top 10 in Division 3. St. Mary's, the Spartans, a team we saw during football season. They are number 1 overall, 21-1. What a year the Spartans are having. Tech Boston at number 2. Norton at number 3. Watertown is at 4. Dover Sherborne at 5. Archie's at 6. Boston Latin at 7. New Mission is 8. Swampscott is at number 9. And number 10 is Bishop Fenwick.
Just adding on to what you said, number 1 team, St. Mary's, 22-1. They actually lost their 3rd game of the season. They went to a preseason tournament in Naples, Florida. Their only loss was by 3 points to, I believe it was called Gulf Coast High School down in Naples. So other than that, 21-0, I believe. They did win one of their games in Florida. But undefeated in Massachusetts, you could say.
Meanwhile, Arlington Catholic is at number 11. Then we get Norwell and Abington. They might flip positions before the week is over. Hanover's also in the mix. They're at number 18. Sandwich is number 19. Santiago comes up with the ball down low. A lot of contact down there, and eventually it is Brady Carroll who goes over the back of Santiago. Wardwell in for Leander.
The substitution sending on Wardwell for Leander is probably just due to the free throw shooting at this point in the game, down 9. Sandwich is most likely going to look to foul soon, and Wardwell, being one of their better shooters, would be more productive at the free throw line.
Leander also has 4 personal fouls. Wardwell gets tied up with Sousa and Lansing comes away with the loose ball. Coach Damon wanted to travel, doesn't get it, but the Bulldogs come away with the ball. Santiago lost it. Loose ball. The Blue Knights come away with it. There are 2 Blue Knights down. Santiago tied up with both of them. It's a 3-on-5. A hold called on Levitt. Another weird sequence, James.
We've seen a couple of those tonight. It's just kind of been up and down, a little sloppy. And at this point in the game, that favor of Rockland just kind of keeps the clock running without many quality looks for Sandwich. So Logan Murphy going to the free throw line with the chance to cut it down to a 7-point game.
You got to think for Rockland, that 10-point margin is kind of important at this juncture of their season.
Exactly. A team, like we said, ranked higher than them at 19. That could only help their rankings as well. It's going to be tough losing to a Division IV opponent yesterday by 11, but anything's possible. depending. I'm not really too sure how teams like East Boston, Hudson, and Chelsea have done this week. I believe East Boston's season's over. I think that the Boston City League wrapped up last week, and none of the teams, besides I think Tech Boston played Needham. Excuse me, they played Weston earlier this week. I think they won that. Tech Boston, like we said, has a great team. So not too sure how the teams ahead of Rockland have done this week, but their season looking to wrap up. Hopefully for them and their seniors are able to get into the playoffs, but it all lies in the hands of the committee tomorrow morning.
A foot of snow on the way. Will it affect the MIAA's ability to put out the rankings? TBD.
Just when we thought all the snow was over. 65 degrees out today. Looks promising. Then more snow coming Friday. That shows you New England weather.
Listen, it's hockey season for another 2 months. $60 degrees and sunny. 68, I think. New record. Lansing committing the foul. That will be his 5th. And Sean Lansing is done for the evening. Yeah, the swing of temperatures, James. 69 degrees today, the high. 22 degrees is the low. Will be pretty chilly when we get out of the gym later tonight.
That's just New England weather for you, I guess. Never know what you're going to get.
Yusuf comes in for Langley. The Bulldogs have a 57-50 lead. Stay tuned at the end of this one for the trophy presentations. Murphy hits the shot and then a foul called on Connor Finn. That was the last foul that Sandwich had before now a 1-and-1 situation for the next 33.8 seconds. Langley's going to come back in, replacing Connor Levitt. Wardwell goes 2 for 2. Lead back to 7. Murphy lays it up, count it, and 1 for Logan Murphy.
What a strong finish by Logan Murphy. We've seen that all night long. He's been able to get to the hoop. His outside shots haven't been falling like they normally have all season, but he's been able to get to the rim and finish at an efficient rate. We see he goes to the line with the and one and a chance to cut it down to a 4-point game.
Checking in number 14, Connor Levitt.
Murphy 1 for 2. The offensive board for Souza, and it is Connor Finn with the layup. Murphy able to keep it in right in front of the scorer's table. Souza, far side. The floater doesn't go. Rockland, the rebounds, and a foul with 8.5 seconds to go. The Bulldogs lead it by 3, 59-56.
Sandwich sure made it interesting, unless he misses the front end of this 1-and-1. I'd assume this Rockland will have this one, but you never know. 8.5 seconds.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There is a chance. We saw a big layup from Connor Finn on the second chance after the free throw.
Yusuf misses the first attempt. Quick timeout by Coach Simarangis. Buckle up, James. There's only 7.2 to go, but it's going to be a rocky one.
You can see it in Logan Murphy's face. He saw this. I saw a smile. He's like, he's ready for this one. They were down, I believe, 9 with less than a minute to go. And come all the way back down 3, 7.2 seconds remaining. If I'm Sandwich, now that Sean Lansing's out of the game, there's one guy I'm looking for. He's been one of your best shooters all season, Logan Murphy. And I'm sure Coach Zimmerangus is going to drop a play kind of designed for him.
Oh, Souza's had a good night from beyond the arc as well.
He sure has, and that's definitely something that could catch Rockland off guard. They kind of overcommit on Logan Murphy from three, which could leave a guy like Tim Souza open for a buzzer beater three to send this one to overtime. I'd imagine Coach Damon is telling his team, if they're going up for a three-point shot, don't foul. And also something that could be interesting to see if the Rockland Bulldogs do attempt to foul before Sandwich goes up with an attempt to shoot it, sending them the line for 2 shots rather than give them an opportunity to hit a 3.
For the Knights, it'll be Brady Carroll, Aiden Spur, Tim Souza, Logan Murphy, and Connor Finn. For the Bulldogs, Gavin Wardwell, Connor Levitt, Jordan Langley, Tremaine Perryman, and Darmani Santiago. The back-to-back timeout. Rockland calling one now.
That's probably because Coach Damon didn't like the way their defense was set up compared to the Sandwich setup. So
Mateo Vasquez is going to come in.
I'd imagine he's coming in for, I'm not sure who
I think it's Langley.
Langley. So Mateo Vasquez, one of their better defenders, coming in for defensive purposes to help try and limit a three-point attempt from a guy like Logan Murphy or Tim Souza, who are two of their best outside shooters.
Same lineup for the Blue Knights. Murphy, Spur, Souza, Finn. And it is Brady Carroll who is awaiting in the corner on the offensive end of the court. Finn is going to try the Hail Mary. Perryman moves back to cover Carroll. 7.2 seconds on the clock. Giddy up. Finn finds Murphy. 5 to go. Murphy gains half court. Takes the long 3. Off the rim. And the buzzer sounds. It was close, James.
It sure looked good.
But the Bulldogs hold on to claim third place in the 2022 Sean P. Cotter Invitational Tournament. 59-56, the final score. The number 36 in Division 4 Rockland Bulldogs defeating the number 19 Sandwich Blue Knights.
It was an up and down game. Rockland jumped out to a 9-point lead with about a minute to go. Sandwich made it interesting. Logan Murphy's last second shot at the buzzer sure looked good from my angle. It rimmed out, but nonetheless, Rockland comes away with the victory. My player of the game would have to go to Gavin Wardwell, though Darmani Santiago's second half performance did make a case for it. Hunter Wardwell's outside shooting and his ability to get to the rim really proved to be too much for Sandwich and was one of the big reasons they were able to come away with this 3-point victory.
Gavin Wardwell, a couple big 3-pointers. We will kick it to PA announcer Sean Riley for the trophy ceremony.
We'll present the all-tournament trophies to the representatives from each team. Please join us in congratulating from the Sandwich Blue Knights, our all-tournament team member, number 10, Logan Murphy. And representing Rockland on the all-tournament team, the 2022 Sean Cotter Invitational Tournament, please congratulate number 20, Darmani Santiago. Congratulations to Logan, to Darmani, to the Rockland Bulldogs, and to the Sandwich Blue Knights.
All right, so there you have it. Logan Murphy and Darmani Santiago, the all-tournament team from their respective teams. James, do you agree?
Certainly, Logan Murphy had a tremendous game tonight. He had, I believe, 12 points Monday night, but he was terrific tonight. One of the main pieces in their comeback. He had a couple strong finishes at the basket. He was able to score in the paint consistently, as well as Darmani Santiago. He had a terrific second half for Rockland, helping fuel their victory. He had a terrific performance Monday night as well. So one of the main reasons they won tonight and was terrific, and he's only a sophomore, so a lot of room to grow for the Rockland Bulldogs.
59-56 the final in the consolation game of the Sean P. Cotter Invitational Tournament. The Rockland Bulldogs defeating the Sandwich Blue Knights. Stay tuned. 15 minutes from now, it is title time. The Cape Cod Academy Seahawks will take on the Abington Green Wave for the Cotter Championship. We'll have it for you exclusively on Abington Community Access and Media. On behalf of everyone here at ACAM, my broadcast partner, Dr. James Madden, I'm Mad Dog Matt Nelson. We'll see you next game.